Sure we can do it. We just got to. Yeah, 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 yeah. I know we can do it. Sure we can do it. We got to.
Well, again today it's too windy to really be heard properly outside, but I'm in the back piggery, which is what can best be described as an abandoned building. It's partly falling down. The roof on one side of it has well, it's rotted away. This is rusting. It's actually really pretty. It looks like lace, but it's pretty dangerous because there's bits falling down. So we've actually we fenced it off so that the chickens can't. Here's the fence. The chickens can't get in here, and we've got some pallets to build a wall with to section this side off. But this side is usable for the chickens because the roof up here is fairly sound and safe, and you can probably hear the banging above it. There are trees on the outside above this that the branches need cutting from, and at the moment they're just scraping across the roof. But the reason I'm in here is because we came out here this morning and found the piping that had been left here by workmen doing work, I think when the last residents were here. Anyway, it's this amazing piping which Mr. J has now cut down into lots of lengths. So there we go, a bunch of lengths of piping. They're about, I know, 6 or 7 feet long now, and they're just oh, hello Tabby. Actually, do you know what? Monty's here too. Hello cats, what are you doing out here? You come to sniff and see what I'm up to. So yes, these are just the right length to make hoops to go over the vegetable beds like this. And then once I've finished adding compost to the ground here, I can get some brassicas in and then put netting over the top of the hoops, which will prevent cabbage white butterfly and cabbage moth from attacking the brassicas. So I'll end up with another tent that looks like this. Well, it's not a tent, is it? It's a tunnel. Another tunnel that look like this that will protect those brassicas. Now, as I said, it's been really too windy to do very much outside, but in the last, I don't know, day and a half, I have tackled some jobs, and I probably need to turn round to show them to you, in which case you won't be able to hear me. So I'm going to try and do some backwards videoing. Behind me here I have moved a pallet from the normal line of fencing to at the back of it. That's where there used to be a compost heap, well, actually 2 compost heaps, and I've now prepared that as a bed. There you go, you can see, as a bed for that's either going to have some more brassicas in it, or it will have our summer squash. And then over in the food forest area, I've started getting the next lot of wood chips down, and I'm covering some of those weeds up to give the fruit trees and shrubs a bit of a chance, because at the moment everything just gets choked out so quickly by clover and creeping buttercup and silver buttercup, I think it's called. Anyway, it all gets choked out by this and the couch grass, and so my plan is, as previously done, is the membrane's going to go down. It'll kill off the weeds, and then hopefully all the nitrogen that's on the root nodules of the clover will be available in the soil, and I'll plant through the membrane for a while, and then in a couple of years time my plan is to is to lift the plastic and just to have the chippings on the ground. Now I am fully prepared to regret this decision of putting this plastic down when I discover that the plants have actually kind of embedded themselves through the plastic, but that is a gamble I'm prepared to take. So we're coming together. It really feels like it's coming together now. So I've got this strip down the middle, but it is so windy. Trying to unroll plastic and get it down on the ground in this weather, it just doesn't work. So I'm going to turn around in a second and show you just how windy. Oh, I think you can guess the idea. But I will turn around and show you just how windy it is. Obviously once I turn around you're not going to be able to hear anything. So I've just walked around trying to find a suitable place to sit and talk to you that isn't in the kitchen, because it's a bit boring looking at the kitchen the entire time. And so here I am by the wildlife pond, which so far seems to have very little wildlife in it, but you know, the local wildlife is going to have to get used to the ducks not being here before they move in. So I don't know where the little frog is that I found previously. It was only one, and for us to have a healthy wildlife pond we need more than one, so inevitably there's a few mosquito typey thing larvae in the water, and some water boatmen and pond skaters, and now that they're there and that the duckweed is there and some oxygenating weed is in it, hopefully the rest of the wildlife will move in due course. One of the few places outside that isn't being blustered around by the wind too much is the greenhouse, and in here there's a relative calm which feels it feels very nice, but there's also an awful lot of plants that are now desperate to get outside. So these poor old butternut squashes are looking distinctly lacking in nutrient. These are the summer squashes, and likewise they just need to get into the ground as quickly as I can get them. And that's the story right across. Everything's looking pale, washed out, and in need of getting into the ground. And my plan, you know, is to get as much of it in as I possibly can in the next few days. And if I can't get it into the ground, I'll give it a thorough soak in here and pot them into pots, much as I have done with this little lot. And so these are some of the pumpkins and the squashes, and of course I don't know which is which. In fact, the only one that I know what it is this one in the pink pot, and that is a pink a jumbo pink banana, and I remembered that I would put it in the pink pot so that I remembered that's what it was. So that one is not a pumpkin. Somewhere in here there are some pumpkins, and a whole host of other squashes. There was nothing for it. I had to come inside because it was just too windy out there and I was beginning to get quite cold. Just a couple of bits of housekeeping this week. There probably won't be a vlog on Monday, but there might be. I'll see how I get on tomorrow, but anyway, there may not be one, but there will definitely not be one next Saturday unless my plans change, because on Friday Mr. J and I are heading off to our local quite large city, and I have an appointment at the hospital for an echocardiogram, and so the doctor's going to have a look, because they think, although I find it doubtful, they think I might have a problem with one of my heart valves. Well, apart from the fact that I'm overweight and an ex-smoker. I actually don't think there's anything wrong with my heart, so but we'll see. They want to do that, and it's better to check than not. But I don't think they're going to let me film while I'm in there. Our hospitals are really not keen on us having cameras, having our phones on for a start, and certainly not poking cameras in people's faces or filming ourselves while processes are happening, and certainly not going to get my camera out while they're doing an ultrasound scan. So we'll wait and see, but it may well be that there won't be a vlog on Saturday after I've been looked at on Friday. If when we get back from that there's the weather is nice and I'm outside doing stuff, then I might vlog. So never say never, but that is the plan.